The rain is moving into Southern California. This is a video from Santa Barbara where it was pouring just a short while ago. In Ventura, it rained at the beach today. You can see the raindrops on our lens as the storms moved into our area, and you can also see the high surf. And here's a live look outside of our Mount Wilson camera of what you can see. Main thing you can see is the raindrops on the lens, and you can't really make out anything else. But folks are driving through the rain in downtown LA. Let's take a live look from our camera there. Folks making it through, not driving too fast. That's the way we want to be when you head out on the road. Now we have live team coverage, beginning with CBS2 meteorologist Amber Lee with the latest on where the storm is.
Bomb cyclone, and that's because we had all the perfect elements in place. We had a low pressure system tapping into that atmospheric river, and then at one point this low pressure system dropped 24 millibars in 24 hours. So that's what categorizes as a bomb cyclone. And with all the elements in place, it dropped basically like a water bomb right over the state of California. So we did see those records being shattered in the Bay Area. See the bulk of this energy now sitting over the Central Coast. From Santa Barbara County, it has finally moved into Ventura County, so we're starting to see that moderate to widespread heavy rain, and we're starting to see a line of these storms moving in right off the coast to Oxnard. And then here's a look. We still have this flash flood warning for that burn scar area in Santa Barbara County until about 11:15 this morning. We still have that flash flood watch until noon for portions of Santa Barbara County, and then we also have a high surf advisory because of this low pressure system up and down the coast here in the Southland. And then as this storm system continues to push through our region, those winds will start to get a little stronger, especially over the high deserts, the foothills and mountains where we could see gusts potentially up to 40-45 miles per hour. So we're going to zoom in and show you what I'm talking about. So as I mentioned, it is now moving through Ventura County. We're going to start to see more of that heavy rain. And then by the time we head into the next hour or two, a lot of it starts to move into LA County, and then slowly it's going to start to move into Orange County and the Inland Empire. I'll have more of that timeline for you coming up. Back to you.
Thank you, Amber. People who were forced from their homes by the Alisal fire are now under evacuation orders. CBS2's Cara Finstrom is live in Santa Barbara with the threat of flooding and debris flow. Cara, it's been raining all morning.
It really has. You know, the evacuation order that went into effect yesterday. Then earlier today, the county said, hey, if you haven't left yet, if you haven't followed that order, shelter in place, because at this point, it's not safe to drive out. Behind us, you can see some of the equipment, the crews that have been pre-deployed. They are monitoring everything, ready to move in if needed. Our camera was rolling this morning when one of the first strong rain bands moved in. Listen to this. National Weather Service tells us the Alisal burn scar got a very quick dump of nearly an inch of rain between 8:30 and 9 this morning. And they say Santa Barbara County can expect more periods of heavy rain through about noon. All of that cumulative rainfall can cause local flooding with issues on roads and highways, as well as debris flows. Local emergency leaders, we just checked in with them. They tell us once this storm moves through, they will send.
It's been fall for a while, but today was one of the first days it actually felt like fall in Santa Clarita.
I think it's great. I'm happy that we have a little break in the heat.
I'm enjoying it. I honestly, it's 90% summer, and then when the few rain that we get, I always enjoy it.
Most of the year has been hot and dry, so many people are welcoming this rain and hoping it'll ease some of the drought conditions across the state.
Well, we need it, so I'm glad that we have it, and you know, it's the season, so getting into the spirit, I guess.
But the hillsides here are still recovering from recent wildfires, and some homeowners are worried about what will happen if too much rain falls too fast. That's why Lisa Solis is taking advantage of the free sandbags at this LA County fire station. Parts of her home have flooded in past storms.
The walkway is kind of crooked, tilted towards the door, so it'll pull and it goes in the garage, and the entire garage floods.
Hopefully this storm won't lead to that kind of damage. It'll just give Southern Californians an excuse to break out their cozy sweaters.
I like it. I've lived all over, so I like the rain. It's nice. It feels good.
Now, a lot of the people that we talked to this morning are aware of the flooding and mudslide concerns in the northern and central parts of our state, but they're crossing their fingers that as the system moves south, it'll start to fizzle out. Suzanne?
Sure hope it does, Gina, for everyone's sake. Just want a little water to fall down. Now the storm that's moving in is what forecasters, though, are calling a bomb cyclone. CBS News correspondent David Begnaud is in Carmichael, just east of Sacramento, with a look at some of the damage there.
It has been a monster storm, uprooting trees, flooding rivers in Northern California, and turning creeks into mud-filled rivers. In San Rafael, just north of San Francisco, there were more than 300 calls for help from fire or police. That's 4 times what it is normally. Across the region, officials say they may not know the full extent of the damage in those burn areas until later today.
With the rains and winds coming through, it's anyone's guess on what's going to occur.
Now look at this. That big truck was almost pushed over by strong winds on a bridge just north of San Francisco. And on the world-famous Golden Gate Bridge, gale force winds actually caused vibrations that created this eerie whistle that you could apparently hear for miles. Listen. Farther inland, a substantial landslide shut down this major highway in the same area as this summer's massive Dixie Fire that happened just north of Sacramento. Closer to Sacramento, in the town of Carmichael, there were roads underwater as of late Sunday. More than 5 inches of rain fell in California's state capital, breaking the previous record that was set back in 1880. Meanwhile, up in Washington state, this road east of Seattle was closed after a tree fell and crushed a vehicle, killing 2 people.
All I can think about right now are their families. Something like so random is just awful.
In the town of Carmichael,
David Begnaud.
Also in Northern California, take a look at this gas station. This is in Millbrae in San Mateo County. The entire business is flooded. Some cars are also stuck there. The area will stay blocked off until the flooding recedes. Stay with us, CBS2 News and CBSLA.com for the latest weather updates and continuing coverage of the storm. We're always streaming on CBSN Los Angeles. Coming up, we have new details into the deadly shooting on a New Mexico film set. What we're learning about prior safety concerns and the crew member who gave Alec Baldwin a loaded gun. And a local associate pastor shot and left to die on a Compton street. And our Stormwatch coverage continues with more of the severe flooding in Northern California and what may come here. Stay with us.
Remember when no dream was too big? And you could fearlessly face the unknown. You still can.
Flashing beacons and cross the street in style. Just push the button to activate the beacons. If
companies rely on
Welcome back. Here is a live look from our Long Beach camera. Of course, you can mostly see raindrops, but in the distance, you can kind of see the ocean. The Queen Mary is covered up by fog right now. Meanwhile, the fallout from a deadly movie set shooting. We have new details about safety issues involving one member of the crew. Actor Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun on Thursday, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounding another person. Her death is now under investigation by the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department. According to an affidavit, the film's assistant director, Dave Halls, allegedly shouted "cold gun," indicating there were no live rounds in the chamber when he handed it to the actor. He later fired the gun, killing Hutchins and injuring the director, Joel Souza, who was standing next to her. Maggie Gall was a pyrotechnician on a shoot with Hall back in 2019. And in an interview with CBS News, with correspondent Omar Villafranca, she says Hall's behavior on the set compelled her to file a complaint with her executive producers.
The first AD, they're not just steering the ship, they're also there to maintain a safe working environment.
Were there any safety concerns that you had when you were there?
No fire lanes, hard to access, doors were blocked, there were no safety meetings.
While this investigation continues, it is not clear yet if there will be criminal charges filed. An investigation is underway after an associate pastor was shot to death in Compton. Police found Joe Moore lying in the street next to a car. He had been shot in the chest. We're told he had just turned 65, celebrated his birthday, and worked at a church nearby. His niece tells us he was walking to his car when someone just pulled up and then shot him and drove away. Detectives scoured the area yesterday trying to find evidence and security video that may have captured the crime on camera. There was no word yet on any suspects. A tragic end after a driver tried to elude police in Van Nuys. Investigators say he crashed into a restaurant, killing a woman inside. It happened at Foxy's Sports Bar and Grill on Woodley and Satakoy. Police say they were responding to a street takeover, but the drivers fled. An LAPD helicopter was following the suspect just before he lost control and then crashed. 7 other people were injured, but they are expected to be okay. Still to come, we will take you back to Northern California, where communities are underwater because of that bomb cyclone that's heading our way. And Amber will have the forecast, what you need to know as the storm makes its way across our area. Continuing our storm watch coverage, parts of Santa Rosa in Northern California were underwater after a torrent of rain yesterday. In one neighborhood, a creek bed started to overflow and it flooded local streets. Authorities had to help many people leave their homes as the water levels started to rise.
We've seen some pretty big storms and nothing like this at all.
The flood markers are up at around 9 feet, so it's pretty high.
It's moving so fast down there that it's moving this is flat rock. It's actually moving the rock.
Thank goodness they're okay. To make matters worse, though, neighborhoods are also dealing with overflowing sewers and downed power lines, which can be really
rainfall in Northern California. In fact, San Francisco and also Sacramento shattered old records. So we are talking several inches of rain right now. Downtown LA, we have some light, steady rain, but it's not quite as heavy as we head into a huge rain band. So that low pressure system tapped into the atmospheric river, so that's why we're seeing this abundance of rain across most of the state. And then as we head into the rest of the afternoon, a lot of that is going to fill into our region. So Ventura County right now getting that moderate to heavy rain, and it's starting to see a move into the northern part of LA County. So Santa Clarita starting to see some rain pick up in intensity, and then we're starting to see a little bit more rain pushing into the rest of LA County before it makes its way into Orange County and the Inland Empire. So we still have this high surf advisory because of this low pressure system. That low is churning up bigger than normal waves. We're going to see these winds pick up also as we head toward the afternoon for the higher elevations. And then we still have a few more hours left of this flood advisory over portions of Ventura County, coast and valleys. And then we have also about 40 minutes left of this flash flood that's over Santa Barbara County. So here's a look at what we're expecting. We're expecting a few more hours of that rain to pick up in intensity, and then we start to see the rains taper off. We're still going to see more of the on again, off again showers for the evening, for that evening commute, but it's not going to be quite as strong as what we're seeing as we head toward the afternoon. So coast and valleys could see anywhere from ½ an inch to 1.5 inches. And then right now it looks like foothills and mountains could see anywhere between 2 to 2.5 inches of rain once the system is all said and done. So this is a quick moving system bringing a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So minor flooding possible during this time. And then because this is tapping into the atmospheric river, it is a warmer system. So snow levels stay above 8,000 feet. So here's a look. By about 12:30, we start to see most of that rain pushing into LA County, and then by about 2:30, a lot of it starts to move a little bit more southwestward toward the Inland Empire and Orange County. And then by the time we head into the 4:30 hour, it's still over Orange County and the Inland Empire. And then we start to see the rain taper off, but we're still going to see on again, off again showers, and then we're drying up once we head into late tonight. And then as soon as we head into Tuesday, we are drying up, and then things begin to warm up even more as a ridge of high pressure builds in for the second half of the week. So here's a look at our 7-day forecast. 62 today for the coast, going to the upper 70s by Wednesday. 64 for LA and Orange County Metro, with 80s returning by Wednesday. Mid 60s for the valleys, temperatures closer to 90s on Thursday. Thursday is going to be the warmest of the next 7, but once we get past today, we'll start to see much more of the sunshine and the warmer temperatures toward the end of the week. Back to you.
Thank you, Amber. Have a look at this. It's starting to look a little like Christmas at the Grove today. A large Christmas tree arrived at the Fairfax District Shopping Center today. The white fir is from Mount Shasta, and it's more than 100 feet tall. Now, you know, it's not very fluffy yet, but don't you worry. They adorn it with more than 10,000 ornaments and 15,000 sparkling lights. It's such a beautiful sight to see. It's time now to check out what's coming up on KCAL9 News at noon. Rachel Kim is in the newsroom with a look ahead. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Suzanne. Coming up at the top of the hour, of course, we will have the latest on the storm, plus a breaking story. Reports of 3 people found dead at a home on Balboa Island in Newport Beach. One person has been rushed to the hospital. We'll have a live report from our Orange County reporter, Michelle Geely. Then an army of dads is called to restore order at a school. It is all coming up on KCAL9 News at noon. Suzanne, back to you.
Rachel, I love that. Dad stepping in to help. I love that. Keep it in the family. But first, Money Watch, a live look at numbers on Wall Street today. Before we go, the Dow is up about 80 points. We'll be right back.
Back in 2016, I was working at the Amazon warehouse when my brother passed away, and a couple of years later, my mother passed away. After taking care of them, I knew that
All right, let's take one last look as this rain is really starting to fill into the region. So we're starting to see the moderate to spread heavy rain into Ventura County. Our hour-by-hour forecast shows that by 12:30, it starts to spread into LA County, and then by 2:30, it's pushing out of LA County, going toward Orange County and the Inland Empire. Still lingering over these areas till about 4:30. That evening commute will still be a wet one, but we're going to see on again, off again showers with drier conditions expected once we head into the overnight hours. The good news is that this is a quick moving system. So we will see drier conditions by Tuesday. Temperatures remain below average today. We're expecting anywhere from half an inch to an inch and a half of rain for the coast and valleys, 2 to 2.5 inches possible for the foothills and mountains, and this snow level staying above 8,000 feet because it is tapping into the atmospheric river, so it is a warmer system than normal. Suzanne.
Thank you so much, Amber, and thanks for watching CBS 2 News at 11 a.m. Our next newscast is KCAL 9 News at noon. We're always on CBSLA.com. If you're worried about flooding in your area, don't forget local fire stations have sandbags. Just be safe out there, too. Give extra distance on the roads and just slow down. Have a great day.